All right. And I'm not Matthew McConaughey, as you can see. So, all right. And that's not me, but I will say grand rising, beautiful day, integrity, because actually integrity means wholeness. When you look it up in the etymology, integrity actually is part of wholeness, putting the pieces back together, as one would say, right? With the Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. Humpty Dumpty, what? Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. Humpty Dumpty fell, right? And he broke on again. I'm trying to even remember the rhyme completely, but he fell, broke us in pieces. And what came out of it is a realization that all the king's horsemen and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty Dumpty back together again. Now think about that. And kind of what my last video was, or two videos ago, about esoteric and exoteric. Can you see the exoteric and esoteric? Think about it. We'll go over in the future. The next video will be that. And we'll talk about the esoteric and exoteric of Humpty Dumpty, the story. We'll even read it. We'll break down what would be the esoteric and what would be the exoteric first to the public, and what would be the esoteric meaning behind it. But today we're going to get it. How did you guys like it? I hope you like it. I got another interview coming up, and we're going to even connect with somebody else that's been on before. We're going to have our Reiki professional. She'll be joining us, Vina. We'll either do one or two, depends on how it flows. And because I can record longer, so I can make it one, and where before we remember what happened, but now we can record longer. But we got to remember to sign in, check if I'm signed in. But anyways, without further ado, we're getting into another one today. We're going to get into another teaching. How'd you like the revisiting, or the demiurge, Yada Baoth, and also Mr. Way, Yahweh. Yep. How'd you like that? But anyways, let's get this. We're going to go in on something that if you don't know and never heard about it, how many have heard of Albert Pike? If you haven't, it's okay. If you have, do you know he wrote a book about morals and dogma? And we're going to go into a little bit about him. This book was written late 1800s, 1871, I think, right around there, 1870s. And he said some things that will make sense. I'm going to put it together. Watch this. See, let me put my trusty dusties on. I definitely got to put my trusty dusties on so I can make sure. Let's start with this one. We got to. All right. Let's do this in a way that we can. Let's move me a little down farther. Okay. Anyways, so when you see this, right? Morals and dogma of the ancient accepted Scottish rite of the Freemasons. Here we go. I'm going to come a little closer because I need to read this. Morals and Dogma was a book written, right? First published in 1871 by this man here I mentioned before, Albert Pike, right? There he is. You can read a little bit about some of his history. Yep. He was actually, as you can see, it's a Freemason, 33-degree Mason. We're going to find out a little bit more about him as I go down. From the Scottish Rite. Published by the Supreme Council, 33rd degree Mason he was, 33 degrees. And if you go down a little farther, you'll find out that he was a writer. Actually, he's even fought in war. He was actually a general. And if we look down at him, we can see that this we're going to jump all the way down to here. We're going to discuss the Masonic ritual. In this book, he discusses the Masonic rituals at hand. In this, he definitely was, he added the following words of pages, esoteric books, Scottish Rite to be returned upon the withdrawal of death, the recipient. Morals and Dogmas, an esoteric book that he had written. You have probably heard me speak about Morals and Dogma a couple times. I'm going to move myself over a little bit here. How this definitely was something that he definitely wrote, right? And there are 32 chapters, each chapter for a degree, except he left the 33rd out, not surprised. The primary themes are secrets of the great mysteries, with their symbolism and the rituals, stated that nothing in the book is meant to unveil any secrets of Freemasonry, but to simply hint or shed light. An emphasis on religious and cultural tolerance is shown throughout the work, emphasizing the root of all religions is the same. The common traits and symbols of our religions explained in detail, beginning with the Orphic egg or cosmic egg and moving towards ancient Egyptian, Phoenicia, Buddhism, Hinduism, and the Abrahamic religions. Copy of Morals and Dogmas given to the members of the Southern jurisdiction of from the early 1900s until the mid 1970s. In 74, it was replaced by the Clausen Commentaries of Morals and Dogmas, written by Henry Clausman, a sovereign grand commander. Okay, so we're going to go down some. Here's some of the influence and the plagiarisms. Of course, this is something Freemasonry's been around a long time. There's a lot of things he shares in here, right? This is kind of the foundation of this book. You can go and find a lot about Albert Pike in here, and definitely in you can find out a lot of Albert Pike, because if you go on his Wikipedia page, that's the book. He has a wiki page of himself, and it shows how he's a brigadier general, was fighting for the South, actually used the Chickasaw, and he was actually put where he developed, and he was actually working with the Native Americans at that time that were the Chickasaw and Choctaw for sure, from what I've seen. And he was as he was doing that, he was working with them in the war, because they were definitely being used, right? So here again, we're going to go here. We're going to open up some more of this, and we're going to kind of move some of this out of the way. I'm going to go up to the top. This is called some more about this book. This is a book that you can still buy. Morals and Dogma of Ancient Accepted Scottish Free Rites of the Rite of the Freemasonry Scottish. So we are going to get into some stuff about this that I'm just kind of looking if I want to start here, as we kind of went over this. He was a 33 degrees in this. On down, what we're going to get into, he went into the Masonic rituals, right, and all that. 32 chapters, but the 33rd's left out. He didn't talk about it. He had a lot of plagiarism against him and a lot of stuff like that. Where is the part I was looking for? I do not see it. And I know it was in here. Don't like this at all. What I seen earlier was what I was looking for. The contents of what I seen earlier was the fact that he had 32 chapters. What's the part that I was looking for? The 3 World Wars. And it's not here, and it was here when I sent it. That's interesting. So, because this isn't what I was looking for. Got it. Go back. Gotta go back. Stop sharing. I know what I was looking for now. It's not that one. Aha. Was it here? Sorry, y'all. It's the same thing, man. "32 chapters. Now that's not it. Dang it. And it was here when I shared it into an email to get it to my computer from my phone. Let me see if I can do something here. If it's still here. Let me see if I can do something here right now. Because this is what I had said, because it's what I had sent, right? Because what I'm looking at here is what I was sending. So let me go out of here real quick. Let me go out of here real quick. I don't know if I can. I think I can. Okay. I guess I can't get back in there. Dang it. But I'm going to read it to you. Okay. I will share this again because I shared this and this, what was there didn't come out. Albert Pike in that book wrote about the three world wars. Albert Pike is Albert Pike in the three world wars. Pike is probably the most colorful Messianic figure of the 1900s, one of the most controversial from the first bearers of light, the Lucifer light bearer, morals and dogma, has been falsely accused of forming the KKK. I don't know if he formed it, but he definitely is in it. KKK. The K is 11th letter. So when you look at 11, 11, 11, you're looking at 333. Or you're looking at 33. Notice that K is the third letter. I mean, the 11th letter. So when you have three Ks, you got 11, 11, 11, 33. Little esoteric knowledge for you. But besides this history, this is what I want. Why it didn't show up, it really confounds me because this is what I shared. I should have looked it up on here. This is what he said. The First World War must be brought about in order to permit the Illuminati to overthrow the power of the czars in Russia, making the country a fortress of atheistic communism. The diverges caused by the agenter agents of the Illuminati between the British and Germanic empires will be used to foment the war. At the end of the war, communism will be built and used in order to destroy the other governments and in order to weaken the religions. Students of history will recognize the political alliance of England on one side of Germany and on the other, forged between 1871 1898 by Otto von Bismarck, were instrumental in bringing about that world war. That's been one. Two, Second World War must be fomented by taking advantage of the differences between the fascists and the political Zionists. This war must be brought so that the Nazism is destroyed and that the political Zionism be strong enough to institute a sovereign state of Israel, Palestine, 1948. Planned. Everything's planned. These folks are great at planning. They're the A1 planners. If I'm going to give them any credit, they planned. By giving you dogma, outer court stuff, giving you the masses stuff, giving us the stuff that really isn't the truth or just second kindergarten stuff. If you're 30 years old and still in kindergarten, you're retarded. Come on now. Let's talk about it, right? By giving us the exoteric public information. So the Second War, it would make it the state, the international communists must become strong enough in order to balance Christendom, which would be restrained and held in check until the time when we need it for the final social cataclysm. After the Second World War, communism was made strong enough to begin taking over weaker governments. In 1945, at the conference between Truman, Churchill, and Stalin, a large portion of Europe was simply handed over to Russia. Wow. That's sad. And the other side of the world, the aftermath of the war with Japan, helped to sweep the tide of communism into China, which we know, which we see, which still is, right? The third war must be fomented by taking advantage of the differences caused by the agents of the Illuminati between the political Zionist and the Islamic world. I'm telling you, there's a difference between Zionism, and Judaism. You got to know that difference. The war must be conducted in a way that Islam, the Muslim Arab world, and the political Zionist state of Israel mutually destroy each other. Meanwhile, the other nations, once more divided on the issue, will be constrained to fight to the point of complete physical, moral, spiritual, economical exhaustion. It's a mind war we're in, guys. We shall unleash the nihilist and atheist shall also provoke a formidable social cataclysm, which in all its horrors will show clearly to the nations the effect of absolute atheism, origin of savagery, and of the most bloody turmoil. Then everywhere the citizens obliged to defend themselves against the world minorities or revolutionaries will exterminate those destroyers of civilization, multitude delusioned with Christianity, whose deistic spirits will from that moment be without compass or direction, anxious for an ideal, but without knowing where to render it to render its adoration, will receive the true light through the universal manifestation of the pure light, the doctrine of Lucifer, right? Brought out by the public view, in the public view. It says brought out in the public view. What is it? We already went into what's the public view? Dogma, exoteric knowledge for the public to consume. The crumbs that fall off the master's table. The manifestation will result in the general reactionary movements which will follow destruction of Christianity, atheisms, both conquered and exterminated at the same time. Wow. There are many inconsistencies in the description of the letter. The use of the word Illuminati is highly suspect. And this is because when it was written and all this stuff did not happen yet. But I understand where this writer the rest of the way is trying to say, well, how would he know? And I would say he doesn't understand the plan. Albert Pike was telling you some of the plan that was foreknowledged ahead. Sorry that this didn't pop up on the screen, because that was what was meant to pop up on the screen, dang it. And what I'm going to do, because I will end up sharing this with you guys again. Give me 1 second again. But anyways, back to what I was saying, right? I don't want to waste you guys' time by just doing this. So I'm going to send it to myself. And that wasn't right. So anyways, that didn't come out right, but I have it in here. Anyways, let's get back to this. I'm sorry that didn't pop up. Should have. That's me with my little bit still illiterate computer wise. Gosh darn. I sent this though, but stop. But anyways, you heard what I read. What are your thoughts? It showed the plan of World War I, and that's what happened. It showed the plan of World War II. That's what happened. The establishment of Israel. So this book was 1871. Also, do you guys know what else happened in 1871? Is a really big thing happened here, and this is why this stuff can happen. With the fall of the Civil War, right? I'll tell you, oxymoron. War is not civil. What's civil about war, right? The word civil has nothing to do with war, but we call it a civil war when it's within. Anyways, some say that it really wasn't a war, that it was actually just a little grab, a taking of, which wouldn't surprise me. 1871, when that Civil War ended between the North and South, right? That war ended. When the Feds, the North, won, when it was over, both sides were bankrupt. The Feds were bankrupt and the South was bankrupt. The money was gone. The bankers come step in because they're the ones that we already know, the bankers in the wars, right? You guys know that. So what does the bankers do? The bankers say, you need to reestablish this country now. We'll help you financially get it on back up going. And we were warned this by people before this. Lincoln warned it, many before him warned of what happens when the European banker. They knew back then. You don't think Hitler knew? The forefathers knew. They knew. They knew what comes with this. We're the ones getting the outer court dogma, public information. Kindergarten babies born in the Navy still drinking your mom's breast milk. That's in their eyes. Never given the next level of information and understanding, because you're the public, you're the masses. You need to be, you're not in the club, right? But we went over esoteric and exoteric. Apply that video to this. So they planned it. You can see Palestine, Israel planned. I knew that for a long time. If you're just finding out, it's hard pill to swallow. Got to swallow it. Sometimes you got to put some applesauce on it to go down easier. Drink a bottle of water or break it in pieces. Sprinkle it in your pudding, but eat it if you want more truth. But anyways, so what happened in 1871, besides this book coming out, when the war was done, the European bankers came and funded the US, and it was changed from a country to a corporation. Not some glad day recently, 1871. What is that? 129, 153 years ago, this happened. And how many people really know that? Still, kindergarten babies not getting information. It's we waking up. We're waking up, right? So Albert Pike in this book, Dogmas, we talk a lot here about dogma and morals, right? In that book, 3 world wars. And then the third one would be that which is connected to Islam, Israel, and Christianity, which, one more time, more an Olympic here. It goes right with it. Oh yeah, we talked about that story in the past about a little bit of a Apollyon, a Coronis, and a Clippius, and how this works, right? It makes sense to me. It really does, because I could see some things, and I have some things I can't say, oh, I know 100%, but seems pretty clear to me. And a shout out to Jason Brashear, because when he really brought that in, when it hit me, I said, that makes sense. And I started looking into it. I really went into that, looking into it. And then this just makes sense with Albert Pike's book. But anyways, y'all, this is not, it's base yourself and really feed you. What I mean by that, give your attention to you to empower yourself. I mean it. When I close my eyes saying it, I'm meaning it from within. Don't be caught up in an outside game, because that's the disruption. You want to go inside. You're initiating within. You know, have knowledge. You're trusting your intuition. Because let me tell you, if you don't trust your intuition, you're throwing yourself under the bus, especially now. One more time. If you don't trust your intuition, your gut feeling, when you know that you know, and not experiencing it by always trusting, go to it. The more you do, the more you have access, the more it will works. The more you use it, the more it works. If you don't, you're committing sin against yourself, if I can use that word. You're hijacking yourself if you don't use your intuition, especially. Got to wake up to it now. Got to. Morals and Dogma, Albert Pike, 33-degree Mason. I didn't want to go out and go get that other part that I wanted to share. I will share it because I want to make sure I get it, because when I sent it to share, it didn't give me what I was reading, what I just read to you. It gave me a lot of condensed version of other things about it. Yeah, I wasn't, that's not what I wanted to share, but what I read is what I wanted to share, y'all. So you guys have a great day. This is D-Boy West Coast Uncensored. Please keep watching our videos. Like I said, on Tuesday, I will be having a recording with Vina. Vina, as you met before, she had a 1 and 2 and 3, the Reiki healer, and she's going to be on, and we're just gonna counsel and shoot the crap, and we're gonna revelate together, because I know we're not necessarily coming in with something we're gonna specifically talk about, but we're gonna flow, because that's what we have did last time, and that's what I kind of have did with everybody. I kind of keep the specific things. I definitely want to do specific things. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing. But you guys have a great and rest of your great, outstanding evening or day. All right. Integrity, wholeness, love. And you know what? Before I cut out of here, I appreciate all you guys for watching, listening, and subscribing, and those who ask questions, and those who are in the growth. For me to get better at this, I'm going to do some things in the future. I'm actually going to start applying some stuff to help me, because I think we're putting out great contact in here that's worth, and any little bit helps a lot to where we're going. But that will be coming real soon. And I even thought about this. How about some West Coast Uncensored mugs, shirts, hats? Think about it. Guys, have a great evening.